It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. Dictionary. It's the dictionary. It's the dictionary.
Hello, word nerds, and welcome to episode F21. My name is Spencer. How is everybody doing? I am doing a little sleepy. I worked very late last night, didn't get home until, I think I got to bed around after 11:30, and I woke up maybe like 5 minutes before my alarm went off at 5:45, and I woke up because the moon exploded. In my dream, the moon exploded, and I was with my family, and all of the rocks and dust and everything was flying across the ground, and we all had to get together and huddle. And then I woke up, and I think Jack Black was there. The first word in this episode is Falstaff. Capital Falstaff. Noun from 1596. Some of you know this, and some of you may not. It is a fat, convivial, roguish character in Shakespeare's Merry Wives of Windsor, and he's in two Shakespeare things, and Henry IV. Falstaffian is an adjective. So if you are someone, according to the dictionary and Shakespeare, who is fat, convivial, and roguish, then you could be called Falstaffian. I find it fascinating that characters from Shakespeare, how many hundreds of years ago, 400 or 500 years ago, are so common, have become part of how we speak in English, maybe other languages too, that they get put in the dictionary. Now, clearly, not every Shakespeare character is going to be in here, but like Romeo, Juliet, are they going to be in here? What is it about certain characters that get to be put in the dictionary? I guess people have been calling people Falstaffian. I want to see a picture of how people visualize this fat, convivial, roguish character. Let's see. I just find that so interesting and fascinating. John Falstaff, Sir John Falstaff, is his actual name. And why is he in two shows? Fictional character appears in 3 plays. Eulogized in the 4th. His significance as a fully developed character is primarily formed in the plays Henry IV, Part 1 and Part 2. That's 2 separate ones right there, where he is a companion to Prince Hal. The future King future King Henry V of England. So interesting. I clearly don't know much about Shakespeare. Okay, let's see. My sound effect is going to be click, click, click. Okay, the next word is falter. Let's close this thing that just popped up. Falter, first form, verb from the 14th century, starting with intransitive. 1a, to walk unsteadily, and the synonym is stumble. I was faltering over my words because I wanted to put the ST from stumble into synonym, and I would have said this synonym is stumble. Blah, blah, blah. I'm very good at faltering over my words, if you cannot tell. 1B, to give way. The synonym is totter, Totter, as in, could feel my legs faltering. Maybe if I've had a few too many margaritas, my legs will be faltering, and I will be tottering and also stumbling at the same time. Luckily, I don't usually get that far. That's very rare for me. Like, years go by. 1C is to move waveringly or hesitatingly. I'm not so sure if I want to walk over there because I'm not sure if my legs can handle it. And then I'm just like, faltering. Do I go or do I stay or do I go? Let me know what I should do. I can't make a decision. I'm faltering on my decision making. I'm also very good at that. Number 2, to speak brokenly or weakly, and the synonym is stammer, as in her voice faltered. Now, when you see stammer, you may think of a stutter. I think you could potentially, it's a different thing. A stutter is a different thing. There is a brain-mouth connection that's having some trouble. That's a simple way to explain that. Mostly when I was younger, I did not officially get diagnosed with a stutter, but there are times, less so as an adult, more so when I was young, when it's hard to get the words out. I do stumble, I do stammer, but that's more of a, like I said, more of a stutter. This is brokenly or weakly. I'm like not really getting the words out, like maybe a little bit of voice cracking or something like that. That would be a voice falter. Okay. 3A is to hesitate in purpose or action, and the synonym is waver. Similar to the physical, I don't know if I should go. This is more like, I just don't know if I should do a thing. Do I start a podcast where I read the dictionary? I didn't falter in that decision, but maybe I should have thought about it a little bit longer. As in, the example, he never faltered in his determination. He was so determined to... My brain shuts down sometimes. Banana. He was so determined to eat his banana. He didn't falter. 3B. To lose drive or effectiveness. As in, the business was faltering. The business wasn't so effective anymore. So we're not making so much money. We got to let the staff go. We're faltering. We got to close the doors. Are they faltering in making the decision of closing the doors? Maybe. That's a hard decision to make. Transitive is to utter hesitatingly or brokenly. There is no example there, but yes, it's faltering over your words again. This is sort of similar to that brain-mouth connection I have, where I kind of know what I want to say, but I don't really know how to get it out. And then the words just get all messed up. And I often, when I'm talking to somebody, less so here for some reason, even though it does happen sometimes, when I'm talking to somebody, I want to say a thing, and my words just go in multiple directions, and I can't, then I have to stop and reset and focus it. And it's very frustrating. A synonym is the word hesitate. That's it. Faltering. Falterer is a noun. Falteringly is an adverb. Now, the etymology just says this is from Middle English, and I wish that it had more specifics than that, because I don't know. I feel like it should have more something. More Latin, maybe. Give me more Latin. Clicky clicks. The second form of falter is a noun from 1834. An act or instance of faltering. Uh-oh, I did a falter. So sorry. Click, 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 click. I wish I could make the actual sound with my mouth other than a... I don't know. Fam is next. F-A-M, the beginning of the M, the F-A-M section. This is an abbreviation for, number 1, familiar. Number 2, family. Family, I think this is all going to be... Yeah, family is going to be in the next episode. I feel like I should have my family on for that one. That'll take a bit of doing. Not so much. And then familiar, this one alphabetically, that's going to be in this episode. Oh, so exciting. The next word is fame. That's why I was doing my sound effect. This is the first form, noun from the 13th century. Number 1A, public estimation. And the synonym is reputation. So this is definitely different from how we typically think of the word fame. How do people estimate you? How do they see you? How does the public see you? What is your reputation? Does your reputation precede you? Why does your reputation precede you? Those are hard words to say when you haven't done your warm-ups yet. What did you do to have a reputation that precedes you? It's just your fame, right? So this is the noun. Your fame is how the public sees you. I am putting myself out in a public way for some reason. I don't know why. And I don't know what's that fame. What's the public? How does the public estimate me? I don't know. I hope it's good. 1B. Popular acclaim. This is getting more into what we think of as fame. The synonym is renown. They have renown because they have acclaim and they're popular with the public. There's not a whole lot for this one. So if you are famous, which we'll get to in a few episodes, you have fame. Once you have fame, you are known more publicly outside of your little bubble of people. Not little, everybody has bubbles of different sizes. There's bubbles of all kinds of sizes here. But then, yes, once there's fame, once you are attached to this word fame, that means it goes your knowledge, people's knowledge of you goes beyond. Number 2, this one is archaic. This is interesting. The synonym is rumor. So if it's the noun, then people are... Now, what's the connection with these? Like, which came first? We started a fame about him. How is this used in a sentence? Rumor. I mean, yeah, that's what it is. What's the fame about Spencer? Well, the fame about Spencer is blah 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 blah. I don't know. There's no. Are there rumors about me? I don't know. I ain't starting any. It's an interesting, archaic definition there. This word is from Latin fama, F-A-M-A, which means report or fame. So, like report, how are we using that one? Maybe that's connected to rumor. What's the report? We got a report on this person. I don't know. But it's also akin to the Latin fari, F-A-R-I, which means to speak. So, just trying to connect those dots there. Speaking out in public, possibly, will make you known to the people who are listening and watching you speak. And then you have fame because you have spoken in front of the people, which I am doing right now. Please listen to my speeches. Yeah, that was it. The rumor one, that was very interesting. I want to know how they use that in context. I guess I can talk about this in the next one. The second form of fame, this is a transitive verb from the 14th century. Number 1 is archaic. So we're going to see some similar stuff here. The synonyms are report and repute. Report and repute. So not exactly related to rumor, but, a rumor is kind of like a report. You're reporting what you have heard to other people. What you have heard may not be exactly correct. That's why it becomes a rumor. Repute. I don't feel like I can give a good definition of repute. But it's related to reputation. That one's more easily understood, I think, for me, at least my brain. What is your repute, your reputation? Okay, number 2 is to make famous. So would you be faming somebody else, probably? Agents, managers, paparazzi, lots and lots of other types of people can fame certain people or things. I mean, things can become famous. Cats, Grumpy Cat, they got famed. Oh, you got famed. That's a silly idea. Yeah, to make famous. This is not a way that I think of this word at all. But I guess, I don't know, is this a fine place to talk about fame? It's just such a weird thing. And I always just, I get curious what people who are famous think of fame, the idea of fame. And, right off the bat, what everybody says, what you can see happen is that people often change when they become fame, when they get fame, when there are now rumors about them. It's a snowball that they can't control. Once it reaches a certain level of, once their identity reaches a certain level of knowledge in the broader public, you can't control that at all. And it's so interesting to see how people react to that. And of course, it's totally dependent on so many factors, their own personalities and their own specific situations of why they are famous and what they are doing, acting, singing, whatever it is. And it's just a fascinating thing, and people have gotten real messed up, and I think that is terrible because of this fame thing. And were they going for it? That's the other thing. Like, people want this fame attached to themselves, and I think sometimes they're like, maybe that wasn't the best idea, but other times it's like, this was pretty great. And I have very mixed feelings about this fame thing. Yes, there is part of me that wants it, and there's another part of me that's like, that seems like the worst. But if it were to ever happen, I would embrace it in whatever way I can and try and not turn into a butthead. And the biggest reason for me why I would want this on myself is because I want to do good. I want to help. And yes, you can help if you do not have fame. If people aren't making rumors about you, you can still do things around the world to help other people. But for whatever my skills are and knowledge and experiences, that was not the path that was laid out for me. For some reason, this was the path, and so this was like the easiest way to do things. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Stupid fame. One of the ways that back in the day people got fame, well, if they became like emperor or something, and then their face would be put on a coin, and that's how people knew what their face looked like all those years ago. I think that's silly. Okay, click, 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 click. The next word is famed with a D at the end. Adjective from circa 1533. Known widely and well. And the synonym is famous. And we use famous way more than we use famed. Oh, he's famed. They're famed. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard this one. Click, 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 click. Familial with an L at the end. Familial. Adjective from circa 1900. Number 1, tending to occur in more members of a family than expected by chance alone, as in a familial disorder. Now, chance would be about 50-50, 50%. So if you take a family of 30 people and about 15 of them have this disorder, this condition, this whatever it is we're talking about, then it's like, that's just chance. But I don't know. It almost seems like if half of them have this condition, if that's what we're talking about, seems like that's... Now, maybe I'm thinking of 50% as chance because I'm thinking of like a coin toss. But maybe when it comes to conditions, see, that's the thing. You got to think about what is the thing you're talking about. If you're talking about a condition that occurs in 10% of the people, then would that be chance? I don't know. I don't know. You're asking the wrong person, okay? Stop asking me these questions. I can't handle all your questions. But anyway, if it's more than what would maybe the general public be, then it's like, oh, it's familial, it's genetic. Okay, number 2, of, relating to, or suggestive of a family. as in has familial ties to the area. Their family lives there, so that's why they're hanging out in that area. Never seen them before. Well, they got familial ties. Their family's there. Oh, do they have a disorder? No, that's a different way to use this word. We're using it in the other way, relating to a family. Okay, thank you. Also is in a familial atmosphere. The atmosphere is related to a family. All the family members are together. It's a family reunion, so we got a familial atmosphere. Hey, everybody, let's play bags and barbecue. You can't play barbecue. How do you play barbecue? Okay. Oh, click, 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 click. The next word is 3 words. It's familial adenomatous polyposis. Polyposis. Yep. I hope I said those words correctly. Adenomatous. Adenomatous. The last word is polyposis. Polyposis. Noun from 1976. This is an inherited disease of the large intestine marked by the formation, especially in the colon and rectum, of numerous glandular polyps, which typically become malignant left untreated. If you don't treat them, these polyps in your colon and or rectum might become malignant, which is bad. Benign is okay, probably not great, but okay. Malignant, bad. If you've seen the movie called Malignant, you know it's bad. This is called also just familial polyposis without that word in the middle. Adenomatous. Adenomatous. One of those is fine. Let's see. Was there anything else interesting here? Colon, rectum, glandular polyps. That's what you got, I guess. The word polyposis just means presence of polyps. You got polyps, you got polyposis. Sounds like Polly Pocket has polyposis? Ooh, sorry, Polly Pocket. Okay, click, 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 click. Next is familial hypercholesterolemia. Ooh, did I do it? Hypercholesterolemia. I think that's correct. I am not going to spell it. Noun from 1966. This is an inherited metabolic disorder marked by excess accumulation of LDL cholesterol in the blood, resulting especially in atherosclerosis and irregular yellow skin lesions. That'd be a good band name, the Yellow Skin Lesions. So I guess this is clearly cholesterol related. What can you do if you eat healthier and exercise and you bring your LDL cholesterol down or into the good area? Then does that mean that you have less of a chance of getting this familial hypercholesterolemia? I just got some labs and I think all my stuff is good. All my things in my blood, they're good. It's inherited. That's why. You get this from your genes. So maybe your cholesterol, you can't control it because it's familial, it's related to your family, more than chance, and it's in your genes. You can't do anything about it. I don't know. Can you? Can you eat well and exercise and help get rid of this? Possibly. You can change your genes. You can do things. You are not necessarily stuck with what you got. Change stuff. Telomeres, you can make those longer. Everybody wants long telomeres. Click, 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 click. The next word and the last word, we got 2 forms. It's the word familiar. Familiar. First form, noun from the 13th century. Number 1, a member of the household of a high official. That official is so high, and somebody who lives in the house with them is a familiar. Could be their family. Maybe it's not their family. Still called a familiar. Number 2, one that is a familiar, especially an intimate associate. The synonym is companion. So, what are we trying to say here? An intimate associate, you sleep in the same bed with them or something. They are your familiar. Wonder what were the contexts that people were using this one in. Okay, number 3 is a spirit often embodied in an animal and held to attend and serve or guard a person. This is making me think of the vampires. They have a familiar, but I don't know if this is exactly the same thing. A spirit often embodied in an animal and held to attend and serve or guard a person. So, if you got an animal who's hanging out and protecting you, serving and protecting you and guarding you. My cat, sometimes when I'm sitting on the toilet, my cat likes to walk in and just guard me, just sits there. And so she would be my familiar. There's a spirit in her. We all got spirits, I think. Pretty sure. They're no different than us. They have thoughts and feelings and dreams and consciousnesses. Number 4A. One who is well acquainted with something. If you know a thing so well, then you are familiar with it. You are a familiar, because this is the noun. Me and my banana, we go way back. We are familiars to each other. Hello, banana. How you doing? I'm great. I'm just sitting here pretending to be a phone. Oh, yep. That's what's going on right now. Okay, bye. Number 4B is one who frequents a place like a bar. Oh, yes. Norm. They're a familiar at this place. Is that the word that we use so much? We use regular mostly, I think, these days at least. But yes, you can call them a familiar because the people there, they're like your family. Everybody wants a family. Not everybody. Click, 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 click. The very last word, the second form of familiar, is an adjective from the 14th century. We got a bunch of definitions. Number 1, closely acquainted, and the synonym is intimate, as in a familiar family friend. A familiar family friend. Yes, I wouldn't use familiar beforehand, but that's just me. I would just say a family friend. It's sort of assumed. A familiar family friend, that means it's a family friend that I recognize, but I think we're going to get that definition probably a little bit later. They're just closely acquainted. Number 2 is obsolete. The synonyms are affable and sociable, and you can't really use this anymore. Affable, sociable, familiar. 3A, of or relating to a family, as in remembering past familiar celebrations. Oh, holidays with the family. Not everybody not everybody remembers familiar celebrations in a fond way. Not everybody has fun experiences with their family, but I am very lucky in the fact that I do. We have a lot of fun at our familiar celebrations. The family getting together, playing games, making food, being silly. Number 3B is frequented by families, as in a familiar resort. So maybe your family is having familiar celebrations at this resort you go to every year, and so that would be, to you, a familiar resort. And it becomes familiar because you go there regularly, so then the resort is like family. Number 4A, being free and easy. Being free and easy. Doesn't that seem like it should be sung? Yes, so I sang it. Good job. As in the familiar association of old friends. It's so free and easy to hang out with old friends because you have a connection that goes 100 years into the past. Even though maybe you don't hang out all the time, you can just get together and hang out, and it's cool. 4B. Did I say 4A for the last one? I think I got confused on my numbers and my letters. 4B. Marked by informality, as in a familiar essay. You're not using thou and thee in this essay. You're using y'all, and yous. So it's familiar. 4C. Overly free and unrestrained. The synonym is presumptuous, as in grossly familiar behavior. Oh, that behavior. You were so unrestrained when you took your clothes off and ran down the street. You were very familiar? That's familiar behavior. Presumptuous? I don't know. I don't know if I put those together in my brain, but oh well. Overly free and unrestrained. Oh, that's very subjective. Overly free. I'm sorry. You are being too free right now. You are having too much fun. Your behavior is too familiar. 4B. Moderately tame, as in familiar animals. These last couple, I'm not so familiar with these. Those animals are familiar because they're moderately tame. They don't know commands, but they can hang out inside, and they wouldn't do so well in the wild. I guess my cats are familiar animals. Number 5A, frequently seen or experienced. Also easily recognized, as in a familiar theme. That theme keeps on popping up all over the place. That's a familiar theme. I recognize that theme. My office, I guess, would be familiar to me because I'm here just about every day. 5B. Of everyday occurrence, as in a familiar routine. Oh, yes, I know my routine backwards and well, maybe not backwards. I haven't done it backwards, but I know it so well, I don't have to even think so much about doing my routine because it's so familiar. 5C. Possibly known, but imperfectly remembered, as in her face looked familiar. I just said this to somebody yesterday. You look familiar. I think I know where I saw you from. And then we figured it out. So this one is similar to the other ones where it's like, oh, yes, I know it. This is all familiar to me. But this one specifically is like, yes, it looks like it's something I should know, but I just can't quite place it. We use this a lot. I do. All the time because my memory is going. And so I use it all the time. Be like, oh, I think you look like somebody I should know. Number 6, having personal or intimate knowledge, and this is used with the word "with," as in familiar with the facts of the case. If you are a lawyer, you should probably become familiar with the facts of the case. What are the facts? I don't know. I haven't become familiar with them yet. A synonym is the word common. Familiarly is an adverb, and familiarness is a noun. Well, we did all of those, so now comes the familiar time of the episode that we are all so used to, when Spencer needs to now pick a word of the episode. Word of the episode, word of the episode, word of the episode, yeah. Today we had Falstaff, falter, fam, fame, famed, familial adenomatous polyposis, familiar hypercholesterolemia, familiar and familiar. Well, I mean, I don't know. Part of me wanted to talk to pick fame just because, I don't know, I thought that there's just so much to that one. I don't know, just for funsies, because we must have more fun. I'm going to pick familial hypercholesterolemia. Hypercholesterolemia. Familiar hypercholesterolemia. 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 Okay, that's it. That's fine. No more about that. Right now, I am going to tell you about another movie that I watched, which is Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2. I like how in these movies, the first one, he says, this isn't a superhero movie, it's a love story. And then the next one, this isn't a superhero movie, or a comic book movie. This is a family movie, and it is. And I want the superpower of lucky. I think that's the only one that I could do. I don't know anything to say about the just very fun and silly and rated R. And I don't remember what they called the third one. Is it just a buddy movie? Is it an... I don't remember. We'll talk about that one later. I don't know what to say about Deadpool 2. Yep, that's it. It's just fun. Very fun. Oh, the kid who has the fire fists. What's his name? Fire Fist? Is that literally his name? I don't remember. That actor, is so good and so funny. And he was in, I think, the Hunt for the Wilder People beforehand. And I am always so impressed when young kids have this understanding of acting and comedy, and he has that. I am so impressed with him. His fame is well deserved. Okay, this is the end of the episode. Thank you so much for checking out this show, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.